quick note, Primetime does have a website. It's primetimenotaries.com, and there's a contact page on that website where you can email your questions for the next session, or you can just email directly to contact@primetimenotaries.com. And stay tuned. At the end of this webinar, we're going to have a couple of giveaways for you. My name is Beth Hathoot. I've been a notary since 1994 and a signing agent since 2001. I worked for a local title company and then went on my journey as a mobile notary signing agent. I am joined by Miss Carol Ray, Mr. Ronnie Mickle, and unfortunately our Three Musketeer Phyllis Trailer is not able to join us today. She's in the heart of Texas and apparently is in a freeze out right now. They've got more snow and ice and rolling blackouts. So she's unable to be with us today. We do have a special guest here as well, and I'll let Carol introduce him once we get to that point. But to start with, Ronnie, can you please tell everybody who you are and what your background is?
Sure. So my name is Ronnie Mickle, and I am the owner of Unlimited Ink Notary and NotaryStars.com. Unlimited Ink Notary is a signing agency. We are nationwide. Most of our signings permeate from Arizona out, but we have a good Seattle market, a good Los Angeles market, Denver market, Nevada market, and we are doing really well. We have our first 50-state account that we just signed today. We made it official, so we're very excited. I see Miss Carol smiling because she knows all about it. But we are outside of Unlimited Ink. I own NotaryStars.com, and I always like to preface this with the best training course that I've ever seen for my signing agents. What helped me get to where I'm at is Notary to Pro. Miss Carol is the most wonderful foundation that I've ever seen for training notaries. At Notary Stars, we are a continuing education course. We are not your first day, not your first time signing. We train live, and we train 4 days a week, plus have one general mentorship. We're a directory, we're an informational source. We post blogs, we help do a lot of things. I'm very happy to have Miss Beth Hathoot as one of my instructors, your hosts for tonight. And it's a separate company, of course, but I always like to preface, that Miss Carol and I are not competitors in any way. I have her program posted on Notary Stars as a purchase item because it's something that I strongly believe in. But we are a continuing education course, meaning that we don't have an end. We continue to bring fresh packages every quarter to go over and bring new content every week. That's who I am in the industry. I'm a signing agency owner and kind of a do-it-all kind of directory training program course guy.
Thank you, Ronnie. And Miss Carol Ray, can you give us your speech on who you are and what you do?
Sure, but it cracks me up in the South. I'm always Miss, and I can't get used to it since I've been married almost 58 years. I'm not sure how my husband feels about the Miss. My name is Carol Ray. I think I got my first notary commission 1964, I think it was, in California. Maintained it for all those years until this last few years when I've just concentrated on Notary to Pro. Back in 2009, I realized that people had no decent training. They were making lots of mistakes. And I watched some really, really good people, really nice people, intelligent, well-intentioned, that failed before they ever got started because there was absolutely no training for notary signing agents. I think and then they had some kind of training, but it was very minimal. So I started in 2009, and we've been in business all these years, and we've got thousands and thousands of graduates all over the country. And I hear from companies all the time, you have the most error-free notaries anywhere, and they are hiring our notaries without any experience at all, right out of the gate. So I'm proud of that. And that brings me to who my guest is tonight a little bit. I met a man by the name of Michael Gilman. He is from New York. We got to be friends. And he was, I don't think he was training notaries, but he was very involved in the notary business. And he helped me more than I can even say to make sure that I had a really good program. He'd check everything that I did and give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down or ideas. He's a SCORE counselor. That's a big part of his life now. And I have a guest here tonight. His name is Ian Stewart. And he he went to SCORE. And it was recommended to me by Michael that Ian would perhaps come and talk to us and tell us what SCORE counselors can do for people, because they're wonderfully helpful. So if it's all right at this time, I'd like to introduce Ian. Beth, is that programmed for now, or? Because Beth is fabulous. She takes care of all the programming here.
Yeah, that's okay. Any order you want to take it in, Miss Carol, you can go ahead and start with Ian. That's fine.
Well, I see Ian is here, and hi, Ian. So I'm just going to let you introduce yourself about what you've been doing with SCORE and your background. By the way, Ian is a Notary to Pro graduate. So Ian, I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. Yeah, and if I'm going overtime, someone definitely let me know. Hi everyone.
Hang on just one moment before
Sure,
you get started. I can't see you, so I'm assuming the other participants can't. Mr. Ronnie, if you could stop sharing. There you go. Perfect. I see you now.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Thank you, Carol. I'm basically kind of speaking on behalf of Michael today, because I don't actually work for SCORE. I've only been someone mentored through the SCORE program. And for one, I am a relatively new notary signing agent. Actually, I've actually done a few signings for Ronnie's company, for Unlimited Inc. And I graduated from Notary 2 Pro back in October. And most of my experience with SCORE actually was in my kind of pre-COVID career. I was a professional musician for my entire adult life in New York City, and I actually initially used SCORE because they had professional mentoring for those of us in the arts as well, actually in any profession. So it's SCORE is basically a bunch of volunteers, mostly retired, business professionals in multiple different fields that basically have volunteered to mentor people in whatever sort of business that they're in. So where I started taking mentorship sessions with Kirk Nakamura, who is the former owner of Avatar Studios in New York City, and also Jim Ellis, who's kind of a SEO expert. So that was my experience. And this was probably back in 2018 that I was doing most of it. And I was using 2 mentors at the time. And one of the cool things about it is that it's completely free. And it's basically sessions that you set up on whatever time works for the mentor schedule and yours. And either by Skype, phone, at the time they're doing Skype, phone, and you could actually, if you were near one of their offices, you could actually go in and do it live. Although I never did that. I always did it either by Skype or Skype at the time, Skype or by phone for both. And it was really cool because you could try out multiple mentors at once if you wanted to. You could figure out who was a personality-wise was a really good fit for you. And when I eventually became a notary in September of last year, I found out about Michael Gilman because he he's a notary in my area, and I noticed on his website that he also worked for SCORE. So as a result, I just having already had experience with SCORE, I kind of just naturally dove right into that end of it, and he's been an invaluable mentor, extremely generous with his time. And he actually, at this point, I'm able to work with him sort of outside of the SCORE system as well. And as we've gotten to know each other, I've been able to inquire with him with any question that I have at pretty much any time. So, and that's kind of it. I mean, if anyone has any specific questions for me about the SCORE process, I'd be happy to answer them, but that's been my experience in a nutshell.
So Ian, if I understand you, then SCORE is a mentoring program.
Yes.
For people who are trying to start a business, any business. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And then would that include things like how to set up your business structure from the ground
Yep.
up, how to set up your accounting, how to market? Is it all of those things?
Yeah. You find somebody who has experience in whatever field that you have, or maybe has expertise in certain things that might be useful for your business. Like I said, Jim Ellis was mainly a guy to talk to about marketing yourself online. So he wasn't a musician. So like all of our sessions were about that, and that was pretty much it. But it was very congruent or very usable for what I was using, what I needed it for. And just so you know, for any of you curious, it's score.org. And you can actually search around in your area, in your state. And at this point that everybody's doing things remotely, I'm sure you could find experts in your field from any part of the country.
I just want to say that I automatically believe your story because as you're talking, there's an instrument in the background that I can see.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right there.
So he is who he says he is.
Well, you guys, yeah, I'm in a room full of notaries. I mean,
Yeah, and Ian's one of my graduates. I'm very proud of him. And I will say that Michael Gilman, the one that he mentored with, he trains in colleges. He teaches notaries in New York, and he's been very active for years. So when I connected with him, he was already way ahead of the game, and he was tremendously helpful to me getting Notary to Pro going. Gave me a lot of good ideas, corrected me when I was, making a mistake in the training and stuff. So it was great. But it's open to everyone, and they provide such a great service. And so many of these people are they have held high positions in different companies. They've done so many things over the years. And to volunteer their services like this is just talk about paying forward. I have so much respect for all of these individuals. So does anybody have any questions more for Ian? Well, Ian, I think you told them everything that they needed to know to get started. I want to thank you especially for coming this evening, because I know your time is later than all of ours, unless we have people back east right now. So thank you again very much for coming. And how are you doing personally? How's your business going? Just so
today I just did my 100th, 101st, 102nd loan signing. So when I started in October. So
that's wonderful.
Great.
Good for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I'm going to mute myself and let Beth take over.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much. I'm sure that SCORE would be a valuable resource for a lot of new notaries starting now. I'm going to go into my little quick notary hack here, and then we'll probably go to, since we're missing Phyllis was next on our agenda. Maybe we'll let Mr. Ronnie talk about her topic just a little bit. But let me go through my notary hack. So we are Primetime Notaries, which means that we're either starting out as a new notary or we've been a notary forever and we're old as dirt, all of us. No, just kidding. We are older. So on Primetime Notaries, we always try to throw in a notary hack or two. And I have just a quick hack for notaries that have poor night vision, kind of like me. I have poor vision anyway because I wear glasses, right? But night vision for me and for a lot of older notaries, and it's a part of aging, you get to where you just don't see as well at night. Oncoming headlights bother you. They're too bright. They cause bursting, halos. Sometimes it's just foggy vision at night. There's a couple of things that you can do that can really help, particularly in the winter months, because the sun goes down early enough that a lot of us are still out there working and trying to find houses in the dark. So the first thing I want to bring to your attention is these handy dandy little yellow driving lenses. These for me are clip-ons because I already wear glasses. Obviously you can get them in just a regular eyeglass set. But the one thing that you need to know about the yellow nighttime driving lenses is that they have to be polarized. So if you have tried these in the past and all it did was brighten your field of vision with the yellow lens, but didn't do much for the glare that you get from oncoming lights, then you need to go back and find a pair that are polarized. We often think of polarized lenses only for sunglasses. But a good pair of nighttime driving glasses with the yellow lenses will be polarized, and you'll be amazed at the difference that it makes. Okay, that's hack number one. Second hack is a really good flashlight. This little flashlight that I have, and I don't even know what the brand is on it, so I can't give you any recommendations. But what I can tell you is that a good flashlight that has a telescoping lens on it, which will concentrate the beam into a smaller area for you, will go farther so that you can shine it toward the houses and be able to pick up those house numbers. It has to be at least 1,500 lumens for it to go from your car across the street and hit a house and be able to read that address on the house. So 1,500 lumens minimum. This one's 22, and it does an excellent, excellent job. The only thing I would tell you is roll your window down before you try to shine this flashlight because you'll blind yourself. Okay? All right, guys, that's my hack for today. So we're going to go on to our next topic, and if Mr. Ronnie Mickle would fill in for Phyllis Traylor for us, she was going to talk about avoiding burnout. So Ronnie, take it away.
Okay, so this is actually something that we've actually talked about in general mentorship, and it's something that I really stressed last year, especially since we're in a refinance boom. It's so easy as a new signing agent to tell yourself you have to take every order. It's so easy to tell yourself, you know, if I don't work, they won't use me. That's absolutely not true. And one of the things that I like to talk about with notaries when we're doing mentorship is you have to take time off in order to recharge your batteries. It's not because you're older. I see younger notaries making the same mistakes. They take every order that there is and they'll try to fill it in 10 signings a day. And not everybody can do 10 signings a day. I'm 40 and I can't do 10 signings a day anymore. I try to take it with an even stride. We all have our financial goals, but you have to take time to make sure that you're recharging your batteries, and that's daily. But there's also time to take off for things throughout the week. If you need to do accounting, schedule time to do your accounting. Don't schedule it on your days off to do your accounting. Schedule it in your work week. If you need to take, you know, time out to see your family, if you need to do things, you need to schedule this during your working hours and make that part of your resume for the day. Don't say, you know, Saturdays I'm going to do my accounting, Sundays I'm going to do my shopping. There's a reason why there's a, you know, 5-day work week, because that's worked for people for years, but some people need more time off. So find your, find where you can push yourself to learn and earn, but don't overdo it. You have to schedule time, and everybody needs more vacation time. There was an article in Reader's Digest years ago, and I wished I had this article. I don't. This is before there was even the ability to scan something. I read an article where it said that for every day a person takes off from their normal job, they are 6 days more productive at their job. So that should put it in perspective of why it's important to take time off. You have to recharge your batteries. You have to give up. I even tell people when they're training at Notary Stars, we train 4 days a week live. And I've seen notaries coming in and they'll attend, 4 days a week plus the general mentorship. And that's not why we do it 4 days a week live. You should take time off from doing whatever you're doing so that whatever you're learning or striving to accomplish can settle into your brain. And, that involves sleep, that involves watching a TV show, that involves watching a movie, that involves whatever you need to do to recharge your batteries. Burnout is really easy in this industry. It's, when I moved to California from Georgia, where we had snow days and we had hurricanes come through sometimes, and it forced you to take time off. I moved to California, and within a year, I developed panic disorder. And it's something that I've overcome in my life without medication. But when I moved to California, it's 272 days of sunshine, which means Ronnie Lee had 272 days to go out and work. And I didn't know how to turn it off. I went to college, I was doing signings, I was building websites. I didn't know how to stop myself because why? There was no snow, there was no rain, there was no thunder and lightning. Why? I used to tell people this is the most amazing place on the earth until I ran to Cedars-Sinai saying, I'm having a heart attack and I'm only 28. And they were like, no, you're not. You just need to slow down, buddy. And, I burned myself out. And you have to make sure that you're taking that time off for yourself. I do that. I get a massage. Anybody who knows me knows that I get a massage once a week, and that's my time. 2 hours of massages equates 8 hours of sleep. And I know this because I went to massage therapy school as well. But you have to find time for you in order to recharge your batteries. You cannot go. And companies will still use you. They respect you when you work and you do a good job. They don't respect you when you overwork yourself and don't do a good job.
Agreed. Carol, have you experienced burnout? Being in escrow, that's the highest stress job in this industry that I know of.
It is. Yeah, I did experience it, especially more as an escrow manager than even escrow officer, because I was responsible for everyone else's job. And yeah, I'll tell you a secret. Don't tell anybody, but my stress reliever was to go and play cards. I would go for my husband. He knew sometimes I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to a local really nice casino. I'm a poker player, and I would play poker. And that was like a psychiatrist. It was that getting completely out of my head as far as escrow was concerned, and just going into a different realm where I relaxed. I had fun. These guys that see this old woman coming in and go, oh, we got a mark there, and I'd walk out with the heavy pockets, right? so that was my de-stressor. And then, of course, with Notary to Pro, Barbara and I have been working for all these years, doing, working with students and building we're always changing and adding to the training, and, trying to keep it modern and up to date. And yeah, now I have been told by my family that I am to stay away from pretty much everything except mentoring. Barbara does all the creative stuff, and Lori's working with us now, and Bill jumps in once in a while. So I'm able to do what I really love to do, and it doesn't put stress on me, and that's to mentor my students, which a lot of you out here already know, I'm sure. But yeah, Ronnie's right on. You've got to take time for yourself. I do have some students. I have one in particular who last year she made over $300,000 because she was killing herself 6 days a week. But she does take off the Sunday. She shuts herself off from the world, but she has somebody she's taking care of that she needed to earn a lot of money for. And kudos to her. But she scares me because that's just doing too much. Between 6 and 10 signings every day, 6 days a week for a solid year. So you've got to consider your own personal health.
So Ronnie does massages. Carol gambles. What does everybody else do to kind of de-stress and unplug?
Oh
This
no,
is
come
Patricia.
on.
I listen to music. I love music and I love to dance. So that's what I do.
That's very cool. Music and dancing. Who else?
I like bubble baths.
Yay, bubble bath.
That's my second go-to.
What else we got?
Well, this is Cheryl. I love riding my bicycle. That's a new, since COVID, that's a new love of mine. So I love riding my cycle.
I
that's
don't mean
great.
to interrupt all the time, but I will tell you this. The way that I overcame anxiety naturally was through riding a bicycle. And the first day that I got the bicycle, I told you guys I had gone to Cedar Sinai and said I'm having a heart attack, and I wore a heart monitor for 2 weeks, and they thought I was ridiculous. And I went to Target and I bought a bicycle, and I started to have a panic attack because my heart rate got up. And I thought, no, you will ride this bicycle all the way home because you walked all the way here, or you will die on it because you just spent so much money on it. And I rode all over Los Angeles on my bicycle and really got my notary business going because on my bike, I could get places faster than in a car. And I was probably one of the only notaries that would hop on a bike in Hollywood and bike 8 miles, which I could make in 30 minutes versus a car that you'd be in there for an hour and a half.
So we got a couple in the chat that are saying TV. That's my go-to. I'm a movie watcher or a series binge watcher. We got Sudoku puzzles, crochet, gardening, reading. Those are all good things to help you unwind and de-stress and relax. Those are all good. All righty. Miss Carol, you have a topic that you want to talk about this evening, and you have titled that, Let Documents Be Your Guide. Tell me what you got going with that.
Well, I mentor, and I do an average of probably 8 to 10 mentoring calls a day, if not more. And they're always the same kind of questions. As I finally come up with something, I can't answer everybody's questions. I do see a lot of documents. They'll send them to me and I look at them. But the bottom line I find is that a lot of the notaries, as good as they are, don't let the documents talk to them. And it's very important when you get a package of documents and you see something, let's say, for instance, in fact, today, twice I got calls about a document that's about identification. And the borrowers do sign it, but at the bottom it says closing agent, and that they want it notarized, and it says, under the penalty of perjury, I have seen witnessed myself the identification. Well, first of all, stop and think about it. It's good sense. Why would they ask you, the notary, to get somebody to put you under oath, and who's that going to be? So to me, if you just think about it, you can figure these things out very quickly for yourself. They're not asking for you to notarize it. They're asking for the closing agent to notarize it. You are never the closer, the closing agent, the settlement agent. You are the notary public. So if you don't see that name, if you don't see a place for the notary public to sign, then don't sign it. It doesn't belong to you. Another thing that I see is they'll ask me about documents that look like they should be notarized, but there's no notarial certificate. If there's no notarial certificate on the paper or attached to it, then don't notarize it. You have to stop and think. I had one of my students call me a few months ago, and I said he was kind of wary about it. I think he'd taken a couple of other courses and he wasn't happy. And so we were talking about it, and I said, "Did you enjoy our course? Did you get something out of it?" And he said, "Yeah, I did. I did get quite a bit, but you know, it's just all good common sense." And I'm like, bingo, that's exactly what it is. So if you can't figure out what it is and you can't get a hold of someone, me or someone else, to help you out, let those documents read themselves to yourself. You'll figure it out by yourself very easily. So that's my new little thing here, is let the documents speak for themselves and to you. Does that help anybody? Does it mean anything when I say that? Uh-oh, everybody's being quiet.
Yes, I'm Kimberly. I'll speak to that because I don't read sometimes. Even today I had a signing and it said print 2 documents. It was an application actually. Normally it's only 1, but I didn't read the instructions. My husband caught it. He said, "You need to print 2." And I just need to read. So yes, ma'am, it makes sense to me.
And that's a major thing. I can't tell you the times that we get people who will, okay, I don't know how many of you are Notary Pro grads, but we have intensive information. We've got a library in our training module, you know, the website for training. We have all kinds of resources. We have a graduates website, which our students have membership for until I drop, I'm gone. And then my daughters will probably take over. But we have so much information that is available by video, by reading. And we tell them there's 2 vital things that you have to do in this business. You have to read instructions, and you have to follow directions and know the rules and regulations of your state. Those 2 things, if you'll just listen to that, you're going to be good. You're going to be successful. But we just go crazy when people will say, they'll ask us, "Well, how do I find our elite list?" which is a list of companies that hire our graduates without any experience. How do I find it? Barbara has done a job of just putting everything. You go here to here to here. This is what you're going to get. This is where the library is, videos, all of the things. Every time I get a question from 2 or 3 students, like, how do I create my biography? I do a video about it and put it in our library. But it's just amazes us how many people just don't read. And it's vital in this industry. You have to. That's it. That's all I had to say.
Agreed. You have several comments in here that you've got a lot of graduates, Miss Carol, on this webinar today.
Oh, good.
There's one, Jeffrey says, "I tend to stress over a new document until I actually read it, and then I'm fine."
And Jeffrey,
Good sauce right there.
I think he called me was it you that called me the other night and told me the same thing? Jeffrey?
No, I haven't talked to you in a while, but we've had conversations.
Oh, okay. Anybody have any questions about anything that I can help with?
It's like everybody's doing fine. I see everybody saying, "I'm a graduate." Great program. Graduated today. That's Lisa Scott. Graduated today.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Lisa. And then Cassandra, Notary to Pro graduate of 2 years. So good job.
Good.
All right. guys.
I do want to add something, and I'm going to stress this. We have a couple of other things like tomorrow. If anyone here is still in the program, we have a roundtable tomorrow, which is meant for, not for our graduates, it's meant for the people still in the course. And I do want you to know that I'm really recommending everybody go to Notary Stars. I'm limited in the amount of documents I wanted. It's a long story, but I wanted blank documents when I did the documents for the course. Nobody would give them to me, and they still won't. I can't get them. No lenders will give them, and I don't want to redact documents. I just don't want to. I teach you the absolute basics, everything you need to know to get started. But I'm so happy that Ron is doing what he's doing. They go through, and Beth, I know she's a part of it, but they go through all different kinds of documents. They have boot camp, they have all kinds of things. And when you graduate, I so suggest that you sign up for Notary Stars. It's so inexpensive. I would so much rather see everybody sign up for Notary Stars at $25 a month to get great training that'll take you into another realm than to sign up with 123 Notary. If any of you are thinking about going to 123, I ask you not to. They've got a lot of problems. The owner now has nobody working with him. And there was a time when it was a great place to sign up and get work from, but he charges hundreds of dollars. I used them when I first went to Arizona, signed up. I paid for 4th place in Maricopa County, and it cost me $700 a year. In 2008, when everything crashed and we had no money coming in, there was 5 of us. We had a little network going, and he doubled all of the prices for his membership. And we begged him. We said, we're not getting any work, but we've been with you for years. Why are you doing this? And he wouldn't change it. He has ousted people and not given them their money back. He calls late at night, and I don't want to get too deep in it, but he just upsets people by trying to give them a test at 9 o'clock at night when they're already in bed. And so with Notary Stars, I totally trust and love Ronnie and what he and Beth are doing. So just for your information, graduate and sign up with Notary Stars.
Well, thank you, Miss Carol. I'm sure Ronnie's over there just tickled pink.
He deserves it.
I don't know.
So if anybody has questions, notary questions, we're all 3 here. We can, between the 3 of us, we can answer probably most of anything you have.
Well, there is one question in the chat, and this one's for Ronnie. And it says, Ronnie, this is from Cassandra. Should I sign up now for Notary Stars, or should I wait until I complete my state move?
It's a really good question. So the training at Notary Stars is not bound to a state. So if you are looking to train, you can train basically in any state that you're working in. You can always update your listing. It's very easy to go in and change your address and your service areas. So if you're able to train while you're moving, sure. If you are not going to be able to log in, again, we train live. We do record our bootcamp sessions, and we have lots of pre-recorded videos, but the idea behind Notary Stars is that you'll be able to attend at least one of those live sessions, you know, within a month or within a week of the different ones that we do. You may want to wait then if you're going to be going through a move. But if you have, you know, a day or 2 a week that you can dedicate to logging in and getting into those live sessions after you watch some videos, then, you know, you can go ahead and do that, and you'll be prepared for when you do move.
Very good. There was something that came up that I wanted to talk about. Now I got to stop and remember. Beth, why don't you talk until I can remember what I was going to say?
Well, you know, Ronnie has another segment that he's going to take us through. Once we get through that, we'll only have a few minutes to do our giveaway. So if you come up with what it was you wanted to say somewhere in between there, just pipe up, Carol.
Well, I'll
Mr.
tell you what,
Rock,
I just thought of it, and it'll just take a minute.
perfect.
I
Absolutely.
just thought of it. My memory is not what it used to be. Yes, when you have to scan back documents, for instance, I've had a lot of problems with people, and I've had it happen to me where you send the documents back, you know that they've all been sent, you know that you got everything signed properly, that you sent the package back by UPS or FedEx and they have everything. I had an incident one time where we went to a VIP signing. It was a long distance away. They had 3 pieces of property. Each one of them was going to a different title company. They were going to Europe, I think a couple of days later, and they were ready, packed and ready to go. We sent those documents back. At the table, I had the Federal Express envelopes, all 3 of them with the property, the order number, title, and all this, their names and stuff like I used to do. And when we left that house, we had 3 packages all ready to go, take to FedEx. We had gone through them, checked them, everything was there. The next day, they called, and one of the title companies said that they had opened up the envelope and there was only half of the documents. And I'm like, that is impossible. I did each signing, bill checked, we put it in the envelope, we sealed it up, tape and everything. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And these people were leaving and this had to be done. So we ended up driving another 100 miles round trip to go do this signing at no charge. And what I knew that we had everything in there. And it was a couple weeks later, I got a call from somebody who was working at the title company who heard of me, knew me or something. I don't remember it, but all I know was she told me that the receptionist opened up the package, spilled her coffee on it, and threw away half of the documents.
Oh,
Yeah. So those things happened, and I had it just the last couple of days. I've had 2 students that had exactly the same thing happen, where she knows that today it was the one gal, she had the note signed. She knew it was in there. She had gone over it with the customer, as my people are trained to do. She put it in the package, and now they're calling her and telling her that there's no note in the package. And of course, they expect her to go back a long distance. This was a long distance signing, to go back and get that document. What are you going to do? If you fight with the signing service and you call them liars, you're not going to get any more work from them. And if you do accommodate them, which I just suggest, just go ahead and do, but protect yourself next time. Think about, even if you're not having to send the documents back with a scan back, and Ronnie can talk about it when he gets on, get yourself a good scanner when you can afford one. Scan those documents, put them on a flash drive. That'll keep them safe. You don't want them on your computer. Put them on a flash drive and keep them. Especially if you see that this happened with a company once, trust me, it'll happen again. They're just famous for something like this, certain title companies. So that's all. I just wanted to say, Ronnie may have something else that he wants to say in regard to this, but it's really a difficult thing to handle. So that's all.
there is somebody in the chat that wants to ask a question. Michelle from Florida, if you want to unmute and go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Good. My question is, I'm a notary since 2000 and just a signing agent since last summer. So I've been getting most of my signings through signing order. And recently, in the last 2 weeks or so, I see when you get to briefly look at what the order is, what type of signing it is, what they're offering to pay. But it also says, please pay attention to notary instructions, especially with regard to acknowledgements. If you are unwilling to notarize the certificate as it appears in the package, please do not accept this assignment. So in Florida, we have 9 elements to a notarial certificate. And many, many times, even with my Florida title clients, the certificates don't include all the elements. So most of them prefer that we write in the missing verbiage rather than adding a second page. Obviously, if it's a recorded document, that could add expenses. But so I will not accept those assignments. That's easy. But what happens if you get to the table and you see, or before you're reviewing the notary instructions, and it says that, should you surrender? I mean, how would you handle that if you don't see it until you get the package and you've already accepted the signing?
Carol?
Sorry, it's a loaded question.
She's
think she's
muted.
still
I had
muted.
to unmute here. I would do it the legal way. And you have to let them know. You can call them up, send the documents back out as is, and if they call you and talk to you about it, you tell them. I either have to use an acknowledgement, whatever notarial certificate you're using, it has to have all of the verbiage in it that is required to be a legal certificate.
Right.
And if it's not, you can lose your commission.
Exactly. That's why I declined the signing. So go ahead and correct it. And if they have an issue with it, then they will have to get someone else to sign it their way.
Let them know I am not going to lose my commission, and perhaps you
Exactly.
should talk to your lender and make sure that that lender is putting out appropriate and legal documents for us to sign and notarize, because they're not. And I have seen situations where the lender has verbiage in the documents, or it's lacking verbiage that should be there, that causes us problems, not them. If I could wave my magic wand, the one thing that I would ask for is uniformity in documents.
Me too. Amen.
It's just
Thanks,
ridiculous. Every lender comes up with something different.
Okay, guys, we are getting really close to time here. We've got one more short piece that Mr. Ronnie wants to present, and then we're going to do our giveaway. But I did want to get to one more question here. Hang on 2 seconds. And I think this is for Ronnie. This is Ronnie. Who are the people on YouTube? Question mark. It says they are now a notary star. That's from Kimberly.
Awesome. When I don't understand the question, who are the people on YouTube? So if you're talking about the free training videos, that is me. And anyone that we've hired to train would be in the members only section. But as far as I know, I'm the only one talking on YouTube.
It's a square and they have their name in it, like they're being introduced or something.
Oh, those are our notary
Announcements,
stars.
yeah.
So those are posted on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. We make an announcement whenever we have a notary star. So if you joined as a notary star level, you will be you will have a thumbnail that goes out as well. And we do it for the Notary to Pro graduates as well. So we talked Carol into letting us announce all the new Notary to Pro graduates as well. So we post them to her Instagram as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then, Ronnie, you've got one more subject you want to talk about real quick. We're going to do a quick giveaway. Both Carol Ray and Ronnie Mickle are giving away something tonight. So Ronnie, if you could take it away.
Sure. First of all, I saw Pamela. Pamela, she said, is your membership for training on a month-to-month basis? That answer is yes. And can later you just pay to maintain a listing? And the answer is yes. You can email us at contact@notarystars.com if you have more information about that. My closing thoughts for tonight, this was supposed to be my segment, but I kind of took over Miss Phyllis's, so I'm going to make this part quick. Earlier I talked about burnout for Miss Phyllis, and now I want to talk about, make sure I know what I'm talking about here. I just texted it, Miss Beth. Is being ready for signings. This is something that I brought up in our membership last week at Notary Stars. I have a lot of Notary Stars that signed up in November and December for January, and we're now in February and they still haven't taken a signing. There comes a point where you have to trust your training. If you've been through Notary to Pro, you are ready. If you got that certification, if you've been through Notary Stars and Notary to Pro, you are ready. If you've been through Notary Stars, you can take the training. You can take signings. There comes a point where you have to trust the training that you do. Now, should you stop training? No. Even after you've done Notary to Pro, even after you've done Notary Stars, you should continue your education. A career notary, I would never let a doctor operate on me who doesn't continue their education. I'm sorry. If you're coming from the nursing field, even if you drive a school bus, they have continuing education for you to learn new procedures, new safety things. You have to continue your education, and that's why you're here. You all are going to be great notaries because you're here. I work with bad notaries who don't invest in education. And I tell everyone at Notary Stars, we don't want $25 a month from you for the rest of your life. We want it until you finish the program and you don't need it anymore, and then you move on to your next training program. You have to trust your training at some point. At some point, you're hiding from your own shadow. So in my closing thoughts for tonight is, especially for primetime notaries, if you're a notary of a certain age, which everybody can see, I got a lot of gray in this beard. That is not dead spots, that's gray. You know, at some point, people trust you for your life experience, which is half the battle. People trust you for your, you know, where you are in life. You have to trust the training that you took for the documents. Yes, you may make a mistake, but remember what Ms. Carroll says. It's not the mistakes we make that people remember, it's how quickly we remedy them. So trust your training and get out there and start working. Stop being afraid of your own shadow. Now we need to let Ms. Beth do this because we have another training session that starts in 4 minutes. So let's do our giveaways.
Okay, Mr. Ronnie Mickle, what are you giving away today to a lucky participant?
I am giving away a free lifetime membership to a notary who is not a Notary Star yet. Giving a free lifetime membership as long as I'm alive and on this planet. But you have to pick the magic number.
Okay, so everybody who's interested into a free lifetime membership, please type a number into the chat window between 1 and 50. And give me just a minute. Oh, holy cow, we have a lucky winner, Mr. Ronnie. This would be Emily O'Bray.
Emily O'Gray. So Emily O'Gray, please email me directly at contact@notarystars.com. Let me know that you picked the magic number, send that number to me, and I will get you set up with your free lifetime membership. And it's not O'Gray, it's Kimberly Nolly.
O'Bray, O-B-R-A-Y.
Was she the first one to pick that number? Is there two?
Let me look again, hang on.
It's Kimberly Nunali.
Nunali,
Yes.
Nunali.
Miss Nunali, please send me an email at contact@notarystars.
Oh my God, thank you.
And Carol Ray, tell us what you are giving away today.
Well, to anybody who has not taken Notary to Pro, they'll win a course, full course and everything. If they have taken it, we will give them a lifetime membership or a course for a family member or a friend of theirs. Okay, so if somebody wins it, they have a choice. They can either give that win to a friend or family member, or we will give them lifetime membership to both the training and of course they already have the graduates website.
Okay, guys, don't type your numbers in yet. Wait, you're getting ahead of me here. Okay, when I say go, between 1 and 50, type it in the chat.
Wow.
Oh, stop. We got a winner. Let me find her. Oh, it's a him, Jeffrey Generelli. Did I say that right, Jeff? Cool. Jeffrey, how do they get in touch with you, Carol?
Just send an email to notary2pro@gmail.com. But Jeffrey, aren't you a student or taking it?
I have
Yes,
taken it.
it is.
I've
Would you
taken
like to give it to somebody else, or do you want a lifetime membership to the training?
You know, I'm always constantly reviewing, so I'll take the lifetime membership.
Wonderful. Yeah, just shoot us an email, notary2pro.com. notary2pro@gmail.com.
Okay, guys, we
Thank you
are
so much.
at the 9th hour here. We got to get off this channel so another training session can begin. One last thought I want to leave you with. If you've been at this for a while, like Ronnie was saying, and you haven't jumped out there and taken your first signing, your doors are opening. All you have to do is walk through it. The wait wasn't punishment, it was preparation. So let's go, guys. Get out there. Trust your training, like Ronnie says. Everybody have a good night.
Thank
Glad
you
you were
all.
here.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Next month. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.